guys, welcome to Mom Minutes. Today I wanted to give you 5 tips to help your child read the Bible. So we're going to get started. The first tip is to model it. The best thing that you can do is to model reading the Bible in front of your kids. And I really would encourage you to read out of a real Bible, like one that you hold, not on your phone. The Bible on our phones is great. It's convenient, and we have the Bible wherever we go, so that's awesome. But I would really encourage you to let your kids see you open your Bible, have a pen and pencil in hand, and let them see you marking up your Bible and really studying the Bible. If your kids come down the stairs and they see that mom's on her phone, even though you are on your phone reading a Bible app or a devotional app, they still think of you as on your phone, and say that they might not make the connection that you are actually having your devotions. So I really would encourage you just to lay out the Bible, let them see what you're doing. Our kids will say one of the best memories that they have of living in this house is walking down the stairs each morning and seeing their dad at the end of the kitchen table with his Bible open, books open around him, and that maybe even his computer open looking at some Bible software, but they know that he reads his Bible daily. There's hardly ever a day that doesn't go by that he doesn't, and that just gives them confidence in the decisions that he is making for them sometimes. And so I would really encourage you to do that. I do mine a little bit differently. I usually go in my room and have my cup of tea and breakfast bar in there while I'm reading my Bible, and the kids know not to disturb me unless it's an emergency. But just model it. That's the best possible thing that you can do. Number 2 is to let them pick out their own Bible, maybe even their own journal, a special pen, and there are so many options out there. Take them to a bookstore and let them, look through Bibles and decide which one they want, or even on Amazon to look through Bibles. Christianbook.com is a great place to find Bibles. So let them have, their choice, what they want to read, something that is readable. Sometimes the King James Version or even New King James Version is kind of hard to understand, even for us as adults. So let them have a readable Bible, something that's going to be easy and not too hard for them to understand. If they're a little bit older, then let them go online and pick out a reading plan that they want to do, and maybe even do it with them if that would help. But give them some buy-in to this, and I think that will go a long way in helping them keep up the habit. Number 3 is to set aside time in their day to do devotions. So remember, this is separate than doing devotions with them. This is something that they can do personally for kids that are reading. So give them a half an hour in the morning where they can just sit in their room, and they're supposed to be doing their quiet time. Keep telling them this is when you're supposed to read your Bible on your own, and I'm downstairs reading my Bible on my own. And you can do it at the same time. Or maybe you've had morning devotions with them, and then baby sister goes to sleep for her morning nap, and you need to go take a shower. So you can tell them, hey, this is your Bible time. Go sit on your bed for about 15 minutes. We can set a timer or however you want to do it, but give them that set aside time to specifically to read their Bible. They probably won't figure out a time to do it on their own without some help. So unless you just have those really, disciplined kids, those firstborns or something like that. But just make it easy for them to be consistent during the day. The 4th thing is to ask them questions about what they're reading. And you're not drilling them, you're just interested. You're interested in what they're reading and what God is showing them. And share what God is showing you. It could be, you can do that in a car. It just needs to be very natural for you to ask them what God is showing them, what they're reading. Also, ask them what they got out of kids service, or if they're a little bit older, out of big church. We used to, ask the kids on our way home from church, when we all fit in one car, ask them what they learned during the service. And sometimes if, we felt like they were really not listening, and they were just being really fidgety, we would kind of up the ante and we would say, okay, I'll give anybody that knows the answer to this question $5, and then everybody really perks up and they want to answer the question. But we'll usually ask a question that only if they listened really well would they know what the answer was. So that kind of makes it fun. It kind of keeps them on their toes that you're going to throw that in every once in a while. Number 5 is to incentivize them. So I know this is probably pretty controversial. This is what we have done. We think that reading their Bible is probably the most important habit that they can have. So we give them money for reading their Bible. What this looks like is usually when I pay their allowance, they'll come downstairs with their Bibles, their journals, and I'll just leaf through it to see how many days they journaled. And they have to have a date, they have to have a journal entry for it to count. So usually that is 50 cents a day. And if they have been consistent through the whole month and read every day, then they actually get $20, and that's like a $5 bonus on what they would normally get. So it helps to have a per day incentive, because if they go to a sleepover and they didn't get it in one day because they do their devotions at night, then they haven't lost the whole month because they didn't get it in for one day. So we still let them, it's per day, 50 cents per day. But if they can keep up that consistency, if they can think ahead and say, okay, I need to do my devotions before I go to the sleepover, well, hey, that's worth $5, right? So that's just kind of what we do. We want it to be a good habit. We want it to be something that they know that we value. And that's why we pay them. So I will tell you that the kids that have done that every one of them have come to us when they've gotten to be teenagers and said, I really don't want to be paid anymore because I feel like it's just something I should be doing on my own. So I don't want you to pay me anymore. And so that has been our experience when they've matured a little bit. And also I want you to know that not all of our kids do this. We provide that incentive. We encourage them to do it. We've done everything that I've already listed. And some of them still do not read their Bible every day or even most days. So, you just keep encouraging them. Don't get down on them. Just keep encouraging them to do what's right. And I bring up a lot, how do we know what God is telling us? Well, it's through His Word, and they definitely know the answers, but putting into practice is their decision. So we let that be up to them. So I hope that this has helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. Or if you have any good ideas, please list them in the comments, because I know other people would really benefit from that. So I hope you guys have a great week.